She is the current women's champion. She wants Dirty Dominic to be her daddy. But will Liv Morgan be allowed to live if the returning Rhea Ripley gets her hands on her tonight? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Time for your Raw preview. And Raw actually looks like it could be good tonight. And I don't mean that in a bad way because Raw's been alright for about 2 months now. But in terms of a preview, it looks like there's actually stuff happening on this show. There's a few things that I'm excited about. Obviously, kind of looking forward to seeing how the Rhea Ripley thing with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio pans out. But we also have Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he was suspended after Money in the Bank. Tonight, he is unsuspended, I guess, and he is going to be at Raw. But the bad news is CM Punk is not. So it just seems like one step forward, but one step back. You know, like, why can't we have them both under the same roof? It's like with the Rhea Ripley return. Let's just talk about it. Let's get straight into it. So we seen Rhea Ripley return last week. She was pissed off. Not too happy. Liv Morgan ran like a scalded dog. She got out of there, like Jim Ross used to say. She ran for the woodshed. She disappeared into the middle of the night. Rhea then looked like she was going to take her frustrations out on Dom, but she decided, I guess, he wasn't worth it, and she just walked to the back, and Dominic was pleading, trying to get some form of forgiveness or whatever. So what's going to happen tonight? We know that Rhea Ripley is going to kick off Raw, so she will begin the show. But with how WWE moves along these days and how Triple H books things, we could be looking at a very, very slow build. Some people are saying Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan for SummerSlam. Others are saying that Rhea Ripley will not be ready for SummerSlam. So you could just see them, dragging this out, like literally as much as they possibly can. You could see this slow build where Rhea Ripley takes weeks or maybe even a month to actually confront Liv Morgan face to face or get her hands on Liv Morgan physically. I hope that's not the case. I would like to see some sort of interaction tonight. Hopefully Rhea's ready to go and she's healthy and they can have the match at SummerSlam. That would be ideal, I think, rather than just drag it out. But who knows if Rhea's healthy. And even if she is healthy, there's no guarantee that Triple H just won't drag it out anyway, because that's what he does with his stories. It's every single week you get like the same shit. He just wants to drag stuff out. Like back in the day, in the Attitude Era, like they would cover, so for example, a storyline today, what takes about 2 months today would have been covered in maybe 2 shows in the Attitude Era. It's crazy. Like Triple H he's so slow at getting from point A to point B and then from point B to point C. I'm kind of intrigued to see what happens tonight with Rhea Ripley. She did look pretty scary last week when she came out, and I don't see the fascination with Rhea Ripley, the way people think she's like the greatest thing to ever be in wrestling from like a look standpoint, an attractive standpoint. Is she attractive when she's not wearing all that makeup? Yes, she is. I think she is pretty, but she's got a masculine body, she's got this masculine build with the big man shoulders, and I don't know, she looks too much of like a dude to me. I mean, she's attractive when you look at her when she first broke onto the scene. She was very hot, looked like the girl next door, but I mean, now she just looks like some fucking goth chick that spends too much time at the gym. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Rhea Ripley and her attractiveness. People talk about her ass, but again, who cares? When you see the big man shoulders, you get distracted. I mean, who's looking at the cake when you've got these 2 big lumps on her shoulders? These 2 massive fucking handles. I mean, look at her back and stuff, man. It definitely looks like a dude. But anyway, let's move on. Rhea Ripley's back. Hopefully we get some good stuff with her, Liv Morgan and Dominic, because it has been decent, that story, so it should get better now that Rhea Ripley's back. Yes? Does that make sense? I hope so. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is returning from his suspension tonight. Wow, he was suspended for 1 week. 1 whole week. I wonder, does Triple H just like to keep people apart? Does he like to do this slow shit on purpose, or is it a flaw where he perhaps like doesn't feel like he knows what he wants to do? He doesn't know the direction to take things, so he just like stalls. I wonder if that's it, because I see no reason why we couldn't have CM Punk and Drew McIntyre on Raw for the build up to SummerSlam. At this point, we don't know if the match is happening at SummerSlam. Curse all these WWE injuries. But yeah, Drew McIntyre's back tonight. His suspension has been lifted, and I expect going forward he's going to be on Raw, unless he does something tonight and it gets him permanently suspended. I think that's the key. If Drew McIntyre returns tonight and everything's good, then maybe the match will happen at SummerSlam. If Drew McIntyre gets a permanent suspension or a further suspension, then it looks like he's probably not going to be okay for SummerSlam. But yeah, look, I'm excited to see what happens. Drew McIntyre, the Punk, it's been a good story, but the problem is it's stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. You know, one week you get Punk, the next week you get McIntyre. You very rarely get them both, and when you do, it's pretty much just so CM Punk can screw McIntyre out of a match. So, yeah, I like it, but, I mean, it could be better. What else have we got then? Sheamus versus Big Bronson Reed. Don't care. Do not care. Sheamus, Bronson Reed. Sheamus could win this. Bronson Reed could win this. It really doesn't matter one difference to me. I'm not going to care. My life's not going to change. I'm not going to freak out and say it was a 5-star match. It's a mid-card guy now in Sheamus versus Bronson Reed, a guy that I just see no value in, to be honest, but is what it is. But Big Bronson Reed, just a big fat guy that I don't think's got any sort of potential. He looks like the kind of guy that would have just took slams for Hogan back in the 80s, doesn't he? Like an earthquake or something like that. That's the kind of build that he's got. I look at Bronson Reed, I never see this guy being a champ. I never see this guy headlining Mania. He's just not it. And he doesn't even look like he could be somebody's opponent. He doesn't look like he could be an opponent for a headliner. So yeah, Bronson Reed, I don't really see the point in him. We've got Sami Zayn taking on Eli Dragunov for the Intercontinental Championship. It's very rare we get mid-card titles like the IC belt or the US belt now defended on Raw or SmackDown. And this one is so predictable. It's like, you know, they've decided they're going to give us a mid-card title, but what they're going to do is they're going to make it so predictable that there's no point even having it. We know that Eli Dragunov is not going to win. The likelihood is that it's going to be some sort of draw due to interference with Braun Breaker. Maybe that'll set up a three-way triple threat, or maybe that'll just set up a rematch between Breaker and Sami Zayn. Either way, Sami Zayn's not losing the belt tonight. And we know that. So that's pretty much it then. Obviously, Rhea Ripley returning, Drew McIntyre coming back. That stuff's good. That's the stuff that we're looking forward to. The IC title match, honestly, I don't care for. And Sheamus versus Bronson Reed, I do not care for. But I'm going to predict some winners anyway. So I'm going to go with Sheamus to defeat Big Bronson Reed, because Sheamus, for me, there's more value in Sheamus than there is Bronson Reed. Sheamus is a guy that you can trust. You can put him in main event scenes and he's a credible opponent. He can give you good matches. I just don't really see that way. Big Bronson Reed. So I'm going to go with Sheamus to win that one. And I'm going to go with Braun Breaker interference and a draw in the Sami Zayn Eli Dragunov match. A no contest, if you will. So guys, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Probably be the Raw review. But yeah. Rhea Ripley returns while she gets her hands on Liv Morgan, while she gets her hands on Dirty Dominic. We'll find out soon. I'll catch you for the review. Till next time. Peace.